got a dandy for you. The visiting Beaverton Beavers versus the home Hillsboro Spartans in the final 1986 Metro League basketball of the season. This game is critical for both teams, while the loser must go on the road in playoff sub-bracket competition next week. The Hillsboro Spartans have lost to the Beaverton Beavers their last 4 games, spanning a stretch of 2 seasons. They are looking for a win tonight to keep morale high on the team and to enter the playoffs looking strong. Beaverton, on the other hand, is also on a losing streak. They've lost their last 2 games to Jesuit and Glencoe. They will be keyed on Dan Imbick. He's been carrying the Beavers through this season. Our expert tonight on the Beaverton team is Kevin Smith. Kevin, I have to ask you, what do you think of the Beavers' chances tonight?
Even though Beaverton has clinched a playoff berth, they are in desperate need of a win. They have dropped 2 close games in a row, 1 to Jesuit and 1 to Glencoe. Naturally, when you think of Glencoe, you think of the 6'5" senior Dan Imbick. Imbick is leading the Metro League in scoring with 24 points a game, which is 6 points higher than second scorer Dale French of Glencoe. But the key to Beaverton's success this year has been their defense. Beaverton has held their opponents to under 49 points a game this season. Beaverton will bring a 2-3 zone defense at you and will usually double team the person who has the ball, which will result in a lot of turnovers and easy baskets for Beaverton. Offensively, Beaverton has a simple attack. Get the ball to Imbick. They will always be setting picks for Imbick so he can get enough room to take that easy shot. If by chance Imbick does miss, they give the ball to 6'6" sophomore Chris Ruppel, who will always bring down the big rebound. If Beaverton wants to win the game, Imbick has to be on tonight. It is key. Last game, Imbick did not score until 2.5 minutes left in the first half. Imbick has to have a good game. Second, they have to get a quick lead. Hillsboro has a good reputation of having supporting fans. They have to get the fans out of the game. Beaverton has to have a great defensive game. They have not had that in their last 2 outings, and they have lost. And finally, if Beaverton can keep the game under 50 points, it will increase their chances of winning.
Our expert on the Hill High team is Darren Stout. Darren, what do you think Hill High's chance, or what are they going to be looking for? How are they going to stop Imbick? They did an excellent job last game. What are their plans for tonight?
Yes, the Spartans did do a good job on keeping Dan Imbick scoreless, not scoreless, but 3 from 13 performance last time they met. The last game, a 48-46 win by the Beaverton Beavers, was at Beaverton, but tonight's game will be here at Hillsboro High School, which should be a factor that would help the Hillsboro Spartans. Another factor that will be determining tonight's game is the Spartans are out for revenge. That first meeting loss snapped a 5-game win streak for the Spartans, and this could be a major factor in determining who will win this ball game. This Hillsboro squad has endured many ups and downs this season. After an opening game loss to the Sunset Apollos, the Spartans ran up a 5-game win streak and then came back and were knocked off the top of the league by the Beaverton Beavers. On more than one occasion this season, the Spartans have been down early and have had to come back and fight back their way into the ball game. Using pressure defense that have been a major factor in helping the Spartans to an 8-5 league record this year and a tie for 3rd place with the crosstown rival Glencoe Crimson Tide. For one, the Spartans need to stop Dan Imbick tonight to have a chance at a shot to win this ball game. Dan Imbick will be the main guy the Beaverton Beavers will go to. For the Spartans to be successful tonight, they will have to have good, strong performances and counter with a strong performance of 6'4" post Jeff Card and 6'0" post Eric Fowler. The last and probably the most important factor for the Hillsboro Spartans to have a chance to win tonight is the home court advantage. If the Spartans can get the fans behind them tonight, they should be off and running, and it should be an excellent game. Ben?
Both teams are out on the floor, and we're just moments away from tip-off. The starting lineup will be next.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Charles Campbell Memorial Gymnasium and tonight's very important Metro League basketball game, the final game of the regular season between the Beavers from Beaverton High School and our Hill High Spartans. Before we have the introduction of the starting lineups, we would like to introduce the senior members of the Spartan team. We introduce the senior members along with their parents. As you know, no athletic contest, no athletic endeavor can be fully successful without the support of family and friends. So we have first Brian Yates and his parents Jack and Joyce Yates. The second senior member of the Spartan team, Donovan Hauser, and his parents, Roy and Levon Hauser. And Paul Asher, his parents, Leroy and Mary Asher. I would also like to introduce Mr. Gene Ross, father of our head coach, Tom Ross, who for many years has given support to Coach Ross in his playing and coaching endeavors. We'd also like to recognize tonight Mrs. Ricky Veneman, coach of John Veneman, wife of John Veneman, coach of the Spartans. For these senior players, their last regular home game of the season, wish them well and wish them well in their future basketball play. Now for the starting lineup, first from visiting Beavers, number 4, Henry Springer, a 5'7" senior. And number 14, Rick Wishmiller, a 6'2" senior. Number 32, Dan Embeck, 6'5" senior. Number 33, Chris Rappel, a 6'6" sophomore. And number 35, Ben Southwick, a 6'1" senior. Head coach of the Beavers, Nick Robertson. Now the starting lineup for the hustling Spartans. Number 10, Greg Edwards, a 5'7" junior. Number 22, Donovan Hauser, 5'11" senior. Number 30, Eric Fowler, a 6' junior. Number 32, Brian Yates, a 6'1" senior. And number 50, Jeff Carg, a 6'4" junior. Spartan coaches are Tom Rolfs and John Veneman. Tonight's officials are from the Portland Basketball Officials Association, referee John Aquina and umpire Nate Jones. Now, ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand with me for our national anthem? Tonight, our national anthem will be played by winner of many awards in regional, state, and national prelim contests, Hill High Zone Grand Wheeler.
We are ready to get underway tonight for a packed house at Charles A. Campbell Memorial Gymnasium. The crowd is lively. Once again, the officials for tonight's game, the referee is John Arena. The umpire is Nate Jones. The Beaverton Beavers have lined up for the tip-off, awaiting the Hillsboro Spartans for a last word with Coach Tom Rolfs. Sophomore Chris Ruppel will be jumping for the Beavers. You can hear the crowd. They're into the game. This is the final game for both in the regular season for both teams. And here come the Hillsboro Spartans. Excuse me, Dan Embick is going to be jumping against number 50, Jeff Karg, a Hill High Junior. Ready for tip-off? Here we go, we're underway. Beaverton controlled by Ben Southwick. Henry Springer has the ball. Henry Springer up the court, guarded by Greg Edwards. Springer setting the offense. Into Embick. Embick. His first one's hot. That's what Hill High has to defend against. Edwards down Hauser in the corner. Hauser, two. So the two teams exchanging buckets right away. Little timeout on the floor. Ben Southwick inbound against the press by the Hill High Spartans. Southwick into Dan Embick in the middle. Back to Southwick. He'll bring the ball up the floor. Springer with the ball again, being hounded by Edwards. Stolen by Cart. Cart, 2 points. Jeff Cart. Darren, how do you think the Beavers are going to be able to handle this pressure by the Spartans?
Put it on the Beavers. It's going to be tough for the Beavers to break it.
Henry Springer just drove the lane and was fouled by Greg Edwards. He'll be at the line for 2 shots. Springer, a 5'7" junior. Shooting 2. Scores 4-3. So far, the first minute has been just as exciting as anyone would hope for. Second shot's on its way. It's good. Karg inbounds. There's no pressure by the Beavers yet. Setting the offense. Yates at the top. Into Edwards. Edwards shoots. Controlled by Embick. He traveled. It looks like the Spartans are anxious and are hitting the offensive boards really hard.
Yeah, there's been inside. Jeff Karg, number 50, has been in there and getting the offensive rebound for the Spartans.
Hauser inbounding, wide open. Jeff Karg in the middle. Pressure by the Spartans. 6-4. Springer up court. Ruppel, Southwick at the top, back to Springer. Southwick shoots. No good. Fowler the rebound. Eric Fowler, a 6-foot junior with the rebound. Spartans in their offense. The 8 shoots. Downtown. Edwards the rebound. Little drop pass to Fowler in the middle. Cart. No basket. No basket.
The Spartans looked a little disorganized going down the court that time.
Looks like the Beavers have been a little slow getting underway. Spartans have caught them asleep a few times. Hauser inbounds. Edwards. Edwards is going to start the offense. Hauser back to Edwards at the top of the key. Over to Card. Back to Edwards. Here we go again. Yates on the side. Card's posting up with Rupel on him in the middle. Card. They're looking for something in the middle, and they got it. Block. No. Foul on Dan Embick. What type of defense are they running right now? Can you tell?
It looks like a 2-3 zone by the Beavers. With them,
Beavers running their standard 2-3 zone. Donovan Hauser on the line for 2 shots. Foul by Chris Rupel. That's his first foul. Susan. Hauser connects on the first at 7-4 Hillsboro. It's on its way, no good. Controlled by Rupel. Beaverton fast break on the way. Southwick. Rupel up in the middle, at top of the key, back to Southwick. Southwick shoots. It's good. 1-point ball game again. Edwards brings the ball up the floor. Edwards looking for Yates. Looking for something in the middle. Carg at top of the key. Yates being guarded by Southwick. Over to Hauser. They got the motion they wanted on it, but Yates couldn't control the pass.
Paul Asher, number 24.
Into the game, replacing Brian Yates. Asher coming back from midseason after a leg injury in football. Carg in the middle. It's good.
Carg has 6 points in the early going of this ball game.
Southwick into Embick down low. Front of the rim, Hauser's bringing up court. Hill high fast break. We're going to slow it down. Fowler from the top. It's good.
Fowler hits his first 2 points of the ball game, and the Beavers try to break the full court pressure by the Spartans.
Springer slowing things down. Over to Wismiller. Rick Wismiller, 6'2" senior, gets his first 2 points of the ball game. Number 22, Donovan Hauser with the ball. Greg Edwards shoots. It's good. Darren, it looks like the Spartans have come out on fire. They're shooting excellent so far.
Yes, Ben, it does. It looks like the home crowd has really inspired the Hillsboro Spartans tonight.
Ben Southwick fakes. Good motion over to Springer. He's got excellent motion by the Beaverton Beavers that time.
That's Springer's first 2 points of the ball game.
Paul Asher.
Brian Yates comes to the scoreboard to get ready to check in.
Paul Asher, free throw line extended. Into Fowler down low. Fouled. Fouled by Dan Embick. That's his second foul. Dan Embick getting into foul trouble early. That's definitely not what the Beaverton Beavers want at this point of the ball game.
6'1" senior Brian Yates comes back in the ball game for Donovan Hauser.
Paul Asher inbounding the ball. Gets it into Card. Asher down low. There's Greg Edwards back on top. Edwards back to back. Free throw line jumper. Down low to Embick. It's good. Embick patented turnaround jumper.
Just over 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter here.
15-12 our score. The Spartans ahead. Fowler connects. Scores now 17-12 and the fast break on the way for Beaverton. Rick Wismiller shoots. Off the glass, no good. Controlled by Asher. thrown away by Asher. Beaverton has it. Coach Nick Robertson telling the Beavers to slow down.
Looks like the Spartans are playing their kind of game right now and controlling the tempo of the Beavers.
Springer continues to bring the ball up court as he will most of the night. Ruppel up top. Southwood. Southwood with the move. Foul on Eric Fowler. That's his first foul.
Fowler's
second
first foul.
Fowler's first foul, second team foul. Henry Springer will inbound for the Beaverton Beavers. They've got the stack. Excuse me, they change. Ben Southwood inbounding. Into Emmett. Russo. Brooks Miller, now long. It's good. 17-14 our score. A minute 50 remaining in the first quarter. Asher free throw line extended, guarded by Wismiller. Back to Hauser. Brian Yates with the ball being guarded by Ben Southwick. Almost near steal by Henry Springer. Fowler down low. It's good. The foul is on. Foul's on 33, Chris Ruppel. His first personal foul. Eric Fowler going to the line to try and complete a three-point play. Darren, it looks like the Spartans are dominating on the inside so far.
Yeah, right now they've been keeping Imbic off the boards, and it's really helped out a lot.
That's surprising because they're a much smaller team. Beavers a tall but finesse team. Spartans blessed with a lot of great shooting. Ruppel. After Wismiller, Imbic push up. Wismiller. His sixth point of the game. Looks like the Beavers are looking to him early. They can't post up to Imbic, and they're getting out to Wismiller from some outside jumpers. Fowler, the ball being guarded by Imbic.
Just under a minute to go in the first quarter now.
Ball knocked loose. Hauser regains control. Brings the ball up. He's looking at Coach Rolfs for instructions. They've got the play split. Knocked out of bounds by Henry Springer. Springer's just a ball hound, isn't he, there? Donovan Hauser will inbound. Hauser out to Card on top.
Ben, it looks like the Spartans are going to pull it out and go for one last shot in the quarter and try to up their lead to 6.
I think that's what Rolfs wants to do. 20-16, the Spartan advantage is 4. 30 seconds remain. Ball being controlled by Donovan Hauser. Another near steal by Henry Springer. They're going to have to watch it. They cannot get careless. They better start something soon. 10 seconds left. Hauser drives, shoots, it's good.
4 seconds to go. Intercepted by Hauser.
Last hit shot attempt by Donovan Hauser, no good. After one, the score is Hillsboro 22, Beaverton 16.
As I said in the pregame, Darren, Beaverton is not giving Imbic the ball. He's got to score if Beaverton wants to have a chance to win, and he isn't touching the ball tonight.
Exactly like he did in the first meeting between these two teams, keeping Imbic off the boards and out of the scoring column, and it's really helped them.
As we go into the second half, Hill High will probably want to control the ball more, set their plays up, and take the easy basket. Beaverton can't afford any more bad shots this quarter.
Either team in real serious foul trouble at the moment, but Dan Imbick of Beaverton has 2 crucial fouls here early in the first quarter, and I'm sure the Spartans will be looking to go in side to Eric Fowler and see if they can't get some more fouls on Imbick. We're just about set to get started with the second quarter here. Jeff Card will be inbounding to Greg Edwards as the Spartans move right to left from our viewpoint.
Number 12 is.
Beaverton has inserted number 12, Tim Dick, into the lineup. Greg Edwards, top of the key. Over to Yates. Yates looks low to Fowler. He can't get him, so he drives. Back out to Fowler. Beaverton in a 2-3 zone right now. Hauser over to Edwards in the corner. Edwards drives, and he's fouled by Tim Dick, number 12. So,
First foul on Dick.
14th foul, I believe, for the Beaverton Beavers. That is the 15th foul, and Greg Edwards will go to the free throw line.
Edwards is an 86% free throw shooter.
He sinks the first one, and the Spartans go up by 7. Edwards gets the ball. It's up, and it's good. It's an 8-point Hillsboro lead with 7.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Tim Dick brings the ball up the court, guarded by Greg Edwards. Ben Southwick in the corner. Fakes the jump shot over to Imbick. Back into the corner to Southwick. He takes the baseline jumper. 2. 24-18 lead for the Spartans.
7 minutes left in the second quarter.
Yates inside the card. Back out to Edwards. Back down low to Fowler. Turnaround jumper. 2. Eric Fowler. Fowler has 6 on the night. And the Beavers try to break the full court pressure by the Spartans.
26-18 Hillsboro.
Southwick fakes the baseline jumper again. Top of the key to Imbick. Down low to Ruppel. Outside to Wismiller. He misses the jumper. Rebound.
Over the back.
Jump ball. Possession will go to Beaverton. Beavers will inbound the ball from backcourt. Underneath the basket, Tim Dick. Inbounds to Rick Wismiller, puts up the jumper again, and he hits it. 8 points for Rick Wismiller. He's been the hot man for the Beavers tonight. Down low to Hauser, underneath the 2.
Beautiful pass by Edwards.
Spartans up their lead to 8. Stolen by Hauser. No, they say he's out of bounds, and it goes back to Beaverton.
Good hustle by the Spartans.
Inbound by the Beavers. Try to break the full court pressure. Tim Dick brings it up. Drives, puts it up off the backboard, and it's in for 2. 28-22. Hillsboro with just under 6 minutes to go in the half. Spartans bring it up. Yates drives. 2 more, and he's fouled. Brian Yates fouled by Dan Imbick, his 3rd foul of the night.
Imbick has to sit out. They can't afford Imbick to get a 4th foul.
And here comes the sub for Dan Imbick. Jim Marsh, a 6'3" senior forward, enters the ball game for Dan Imbick.
And Hillsboro calls timeout.
The Spartans with an 8-point lead with 5:57 to go in the half. And they look like they're in complete control right now, Kevin.
I agree, Darren. With Imbick on the bench, Beaverton is nearly handicapped.
Good choice of words there, Kevin.
Thank you, Darren.
The Spartans, I'm sure, will be looking to go inside to the big men now. With Jeff Karg and Eric Fowler down low, they should be able to get some points up on the board.
I agree. And at this time of the game, Hillsboro wants to get as big of a lead as possible.
Unlike other ball games this year where the Spartans have fell behind early, they've jumped out to an early lead tonight, and that should be the key point and pivotal point in keeping them ahead in this game.
But as we recall, in the Hill High Beaverton's first meeting earlier this year, Beaverton jumped out to a quick lead and then lost it at the end.
Just about set to start here again. Spartans taking last-minute instructions for Coach Rawls.
Also coming into the game, Corey McCormick, 6'5" junior.
The Hillsboro Spartans will enter in 4 new players right now. Eric Crumlin, Todd Jukla, Scott Tracewell, and Lance Bird all enter the game. Brian Yates will be at the foul line, shooting 1, try to convert the 3-point play. The fans have really got into it tonight, Kevin. So, it's good. Brian Yates.
9-point lead for Hillsboro. Coming into the game, Paul Asher.
Another sub for the Hillsboro Spartans. Brian Yates gets a big round of applause. Pete Ness will inbound the ball. Tim Dick brings the ball up court, guarded by number 14, Scott Tracewell. Double team, and it's broke. Corner, Rick Wismiller, and misses another outside jump.
No rebounding by Beaverton.
Asher brings the ball up court, and here come the Hillsboro subs again. The starters look like they're coming back in.
Coming into the game will be Edwards, Yates, Fowler, Hauser, and Lundy.
Asher, top of the key. Looks for Jukla down low, can't find him, drives down the middle, shoots it back out to Lance Bird. 5.5 minutes to go in the half. Lance Bird down the corner. Looks low to Crumlin, can't find him. Jukla, top of the key, finds Tracewell. Tracewell, turnaround jumper off the back of the rim. Asher, offensive rebound, goes in. Blocked and a foul.
Foul on McCormick.
Corey McCormick, first foul of the ball game. And the subs re-enter for Hillsboro Spartans. The only new entry for the Spartans is number 40, Rob Lundy. Paul Asher will go to the line, shooting 2. Spartans lead 31-22 with 5 minutes to go in the half. Asher misses the first one. On the season, Asher shooting 53% from the free throw line. Asher has really been remarkable in his few games that he's come back after his knee injury. He hits the first one.
Brian Yates coming in the game for Paul Asher.
And the Spartans up their advantage to 10 points. Beaverton inbounds the ball underneath their own basket. Brings the ball up court. Fowler knocks it out of bounds right near the Hillsboro bench. Beavers inbound the ball. Rick Wismiller down low. Looks to the top of the key. Jim Marsh has the ball. Out to Kevin Grant. Back over to Rick Wismiller. Tim Dick, top of the...
Nice rebound by Hillsboro.
Another defensive rebound by Hillsboro. Fast break by Edwards. Edwards brings it up court. Stops, jumper off the back of the rim. Rebound by Jim Marsh. Beaverton looks in no way to want to slow the tempo down. They keep bringing the ball up and looking for the early shot. In the quarter to Kevin Grant, back to the top of the key to Tim Grant. Wismiller looks to take the shot, fakes it. Rebound by Fowler.
Beaverton is cold.
Greg Edwards brings the ball up court, and the Spartans look like they've got things completely under control right now. Hauser drives, can't get in, finds Hauser
over the back.
Foul on number 21. Jim Marsh, 6'3" senior, gets his first foul of the ball game. Just over 4 minutes to go in the half here.
Fowler will be going to the line for 1 and 1.
Fowler, a 67% free throw shooter on the year. First one's up and good.
Jeff Card will be checking into the game. Replacing Rob Lundy.
Things do not seem to be going Beaverton's way right now. The hometown Spartans are dominating offensive boards and the defensive boards. Fowler looking for a second shot. It's up. It's in.
Lane violation.
No basket. A lane violation by Donovan Hauser. So the Spartans up their lead to 11 points. Beaverton will bring the ball up the court. Full court pressure by the Spartans. They break it.
Almost over and back.
They didn't call it. They missed the call. In the corner to Rick Wismiller. Down low to Chris Ruppel. Turnaround jumper off the back of the board. There's Greg Edwards the rebound.
Nice pass.
Outlet to Hauser. Up. He's fouled and the basket won't go. So Hauser will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. Hauser, one of the best free throw shooters on the team. 81%.
Second foul on Dick. Paul Asher will be coming back into the game.
The Spartans are doing everything in their power to keep their players rested as they've been substituting players in left
And
right.
so will Corey McCormick.
Brian Yates comes out of the ball game. Hauser's first shot. It's good. 34-22 Hillsboro, 12-point lead. 3:48 to go in the first half. Donovan Hauser gets the ball for a second shot. It's up. It's good. 13-point lead. Full court pressure by the Spartans again. Greg Edwards guarding Chris Ruppel. Jim Marsh over to
Beaverton having problems getting across the line.
They break it. In the corner to Rick Wismiller. Looks down low to Jim Marsh. Turn around inside the lane. He gets it.
That breaks about a 3-minute dry spell for Beaverton.
Greg Edwards slowly brings the ball up the court as the Spartans set up a play. In the corner to Hauser. Jump shot. Two more for Hauser. Hauser has 8, 9, 10, 11 points in this half.
Double team.
Tim Dick brings the ball up the court. In the corner to Rick Wismiller. 13-point lead for the Spartans. Almost stolen by Hauser.
Good defense by Hillsboro.
Again down low to Ruppel. Turnaround inside the lane, and he's got 2 more. Chris Ruppel has his first 2 points in the ball game. Edwards looks to Coach Rolfe for instructions, and he calls out the play to his teammates. Hauser pulls it out. Here comes the Beaverton defense pressuring. Jim Marsh pressures Greg Edwards. Tim Dick, double team. Fowler running around. Back out to Hauser.
Edwards is open.
Edwards looks for the jump shot, but brings it back out to Fowler. Spartans are just trying to run the ball around the court and keep the Beavers running right now. Looks as if the Beavers are going in a
Palm the ball.
turnover by the Hillsboro Spartans.
One of the few turnovers for Hillsboro tonight.
Inbound ball, Beaverton inbounds the ball. Tim Dick brings the ball up the court. One factor, Dan Imbick has been sitting on the bench.
Hillsboro's playing man-to-man, Darren.
Chris Ruppel, top of the key, looks to Wismiller, down low. Wismiller outside, he cans another one. 10 points for Chris.
Cuts the lead to 9.
Wismiller gets his 10 points of the game. Most of those all from the outside. Edwards brings the ball up the court. Stolen by Beaverton. Beaverton looking to get back in this thing. Minute and 50 seconds to go in the half, and they slow it down. 9-point lead for the Spartans. Ruppel up top.
Brian Yates will be coming back into the game.
Jim Marsh, top of the key. Over to Ruppel outside, down low to Wismiller. 2 more.
Hillsboro needs to call timeout.
Wismiller has his 12th point of the ball game, all from outside. Greg Edwards brings the ball to court. Hillsboro should call a timeout and get things settled down. Hauser brings it back out. Asher on top.
Just over a minute remaining in the second quarter.
Hauser. Double teamed. Over to Asher. Almost loses it. No foul. Triple team, but no foul, and it's back out to Edwards.
Beaverton fans are going crazy.
Hauser, 50 seconds to go in the half. Donovan Hauser brings it back out to Edwards. They're just playing catch right now.
They're playing for the last shot, Darren.
Hillsboro will be content to go into the locker room with a 9-point lead if they can hit a basket here in the last 38 seconds. Over to Edwards. Beaverton just playing a 2-3 zone, pulled out.
It's critical Hillsboro doesn't turn the ball over here.
Back over to Hauser. Back to Edwards.
24 seconds left.
Nobody down low for the Spartans right now. They're all pulled out. Over to Hauser. 17 seconds to go in the half, and they got to look for a shot pretty soon. Asher back to Hauser.
10 seconds left.
Here he goes. He drives, looking for the shot. Almost losing the ball. Down low to Asher. It won't drop. Tim Dick brings the ball to court. The shot at the half will not fall. As time runs out here in the first half at Hillsboro High School, the host Hillsboro Spartans have a 7-point lead over the Beaverton Beavers and pretty much commanding the first half all the way through.
Beaverton had a late surge there in the first half and cut their lead down from 11 down to 7, and that's awfully critical going in the locker room, being only 7 points down.
Hillsboro's largest lead this half was 13 points. And that came late in the second quarter before Beaverton made their surge.
But the critical factor again, Darren, is Embick is on the bench, and you can't score if you're on the bench.
We'll be back for a recap of all the first half highlights and stats in a few minutes.
Okay, the statistics for Hill High's first half. Greg Edwards doing a fine job leading the team in ball control. Scored 4 points. Donovan Hauser, top man with 11 points. Paul Asher, 1 point, but led the team with 3 rebounds. Eric Fowler, 8 points, 2 rebounds. Brian Yates, 5 points. And Jeff Karg, who opened the game with 6 straight points, has not scored then.
For Beaverton, Rick Miller put down a big 12 points in the first half, leading all scorers. Embick had 4, but also had 3 fouls instead out the second half. Springer also had 4 points and 1 foul. Dick had 2, Marsh had 2, and Ruppel had 2. And we're just about ready to get the second half underway. What do you predict Hillsboro will want to do in this second half?
Well, so far, I think Hillsboro High School has been doing almost exactly what they wanted to do. They haven't been going about it quite the way they expected, I don't think. Embick has been a non-factor tonight, not because of great defense, but a lot of aggression. He's put himself in foul trouble. Also, the Spartans jumped out to a quick, big first-point lead, which is unnatural for them. They're used to coming back from behind. But it looked to me, Kevin, that whenever the Spartans, it took a while for the Beavers to wake up. Whenever the Spartans had any pressure put against them, they started to choke. They started to choke at the end. So I think the Beavers are going to come out aware and strong and really aggressive and try and get the Spartans to cough up some more turnovers and get this game even.
I agree, Ben. But one thing for sure, we're going to be in for a doozy of a second half. So coming out on the floor is Ruppel, Springer. There's Southwick's out there, and Wissmiller. Embick is also out there with 3 fouls, and Hillsboro would like nothing better than to get a quick 4th one on him. Hillsboro brings out Yates, Hauser, Fowler, Card, and Edwards.
Same starting lines for both teams, I believe.
Card will be inbounding the ball for Hillsboro.
Henry Springer in this half, he did not play hardly at all. He was a non-factor in the second quarter. They went with Tim Dick instead.
Inbound to Edwards. Beaverton goes into its familiar 2-3 zone. Over to Yates in the corner. Yates looking into Card. Out on Beaverton.
On that last exchange, Chris Ruppel and Eric Fowler were really banging out underneath.
Into Fowler. Fowler pump fake. Gives to Edwards. Edwards dribbles top of the key. looking for a man. Over to Hauser. Yates posting up. Edwards over to Yates.
Beaverton packed tight in their 2-3 zone.
Hillsboro being very patient with the basketball early on. Edwards falls down. Out to Card. Back to Yates. Nearly a minute gone by here in the third quarter. Card. Back out the top of the key for Edwards. Hillsboro fans starting to get into the game.
I think at halftime, Coach Rawls sat down and talked to his team and told them they definitely need to be more patient.
Nice forearm by Card. Off the black. Loose ball foul on Yates.
I think the referee was definitely making up for a call he had just missed.
I agree, Ben. That's the first foul on Yates. First team foul. Inbound to Embiid. Embiid over to Springer. In the corner to Wissmiller. Off the glass. Big rebound by Southwick.
Wissmiller has been all alone in the corner all night long.
That's 6 points for Southwick. Edwards brings the ball up. Tough defense by Beaverton. Edwards nearly has the ball taken away from him. Shoots! 39-32, Hillsboro. Embiid. Lob into Embiid. Nice pass.
That time Hauser did pull out and guard Wissmiller, leaving the middle open for an easy bucket.
Gates brings the ball down. Inside to Fowler. Foul will go against Wissmiller. That'll be the first for Wissmiller. Fowler will be going to the line. Nope, they'll be inbounding. Fowler thought he should be going to the line. Inbound, Card. Looked like he was hacked, but gets the ball down anyway.
Incredibly, they just got that shot off.
8 points for Card. Embiid. Rebound, Wissmiller taken away by Yates, but they say he stepped out of bounds.
Embiid trying right away to get effective and get into the offense for Beaverton.
Coming into the game will be Rob Lundy. He'll be replacing what looks to be a hurt Jeff Card. We'll try and get more information on that. Looks like he might have hurt his ankle. Wissmiller will be inbounding. Springer dribbles around into Wissmiller in the corner from 16. Good.
Wissmiller operating on the corners all night long.
Edwards brings it up. Steps out of bounds.
That's the pressure I was talking about. The Beavers have narrowed the gap down to 5, and it seems like with any amount of pressure, they start to crack.
Springer calling the play. Over to Ruppel. Lob off the glass. And they call it a jump ball. Beaverton's possession.
Coach Robertson of Beaverton disgusted by the call.
(41-36), 5:13 remain in the third quarter. Embiid inbound. Southwick pulls it up. Off the iron. Rebound Hauser. Hauser into Yates. Fouled. Foul will be on Southwick.
Foul's on Chris Ruppel.
Second foul on Ruppel. Yates will be going to the line. Yates, an 86% free throw shooter, nails the first one. Going into the game, Jim Marsh for Ben Southwick. Gates sinks second one. And Paul Asher is going into the game for Brian Yates.
Rolf's been rotating those two in and out all night long, keeping them both fresh and aggressive.
Yates leads the game with 7 points. Marsh inbounds to Embick. Embick, Springer drives. Pulls up and 2.
The defense collapsed, waiting for him to drive, and he just pulled up for a nice jumper. Easy 2 for Henry Springer.
Hillsboro has to get back on defense. Asher looks around, over to Hauser. Hauser pulls up from 16. Bingo! 45-38 Hillsboro.
Himbick, very acrobatic.
Rebound, Hauser. Over to Edwards. 2! Timeout, Beaverton. 47-38 Hillsboro.
So much for cracking under pressure. The Spartans have exploded for a 9-point lead, and the crowd is definitely becoming a factor.
Beaverton definitely had to call that timeout to try and slow things down.
Dan Embick on that last exchange forced the ball off the court, was lucky to lose the ball when they did instead of right then.
Beaverton has to slow the game down. They cannot afford to run with Hillsboro.
Hillsboro, a much smaller and much more finesse team.
Donovan Hauser leading all scoring with 17 points right now. And the Hillsboro fans are starting to get their spirit into it.
What do you think Coach Robertson is telling his players right now?
Coach Robertson says we need to control the ball, hold on until we can get a good shot off. We can't afford to go run down and throw up the first chance.
It looks like they've continued to isolate Wismiller. Do you think they're going to try and get the ball into Embick's hands some more?
Well, Embick has still only scored 6 points. And has still not been a factor in this game. Marsh will be inbounding for Beaverton. Into Wismiller. Get over the midcourt line. And Wismiller closes it out. Back to Marsh. Nice defensive play, but they'll call a foul on Rob Lundy. That'll be Lundy's first personal. And down to Embick, back. Awesome. Elders, TM. Beautiful hustle by the Hillsboro Spartans.
Perfectly executed inbound play. It really hurt the Beavers missing that one.
Hillsboro having a chance to go up by 11 with 3:45. Oh, off the rim, and Embick comes down with the ball.
Embick making his presence known on defense at least.
Springer. To the top of the key, Springer inside Embick, turnaround. In. Only the 8th point by Embick tonight.
That's what we thought we would be seeing more of, getting the ball into Embick's hands and at least to try and get it into the basket.
Fowler, turnaround, off the glass. Lundy with the rebound, can't hold on to it. Hauser with the ball. 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Edwards, top of the key. Inside to Lundy. Lundy being guarded by Embick. Fowler trapped in the corner. Oh, traveled. Didn't call it. Fowler. Oh, in and out. Tough luck for the Spartans. Over to Marsh. Marsh puts it up. Easy 2 for Beaverton. 5-point game.
Coach Rolfs calls a timeout. He looks disgusted at not getting back on defense and not completing the 3 chances that they had down there at their own end.
I agree. But one thing we do have to talk about is Dan Imbig not getting another foul this half. An early foul in this half, and he would have been out until the end of the game.
He is playing much more aggressive.
And that is the cheer of the Beaverton crowd in the background. There's a long-standing rivalry between the crowds of Hillsboro and Beaverton.
The game is turning into a chess match by the two coaches. What do you feel Rolfs is telling his team now?
Rolfs is telling they need to keep playing the same game they are. They need to run the ball. They need to find the open man and get the easy shot.
They haven't been executing, though, like they were in the first of the game.
And as both teams started approaching the floor again, 47-42 Hillsboro with 2:22 left in the third quarter. For Beaverton, we have Imbig, Miller, Springer, Marsh, and Ruppel. Hillsboro will be inbounding the ball in front of the Beaverton bench. Inbound to Edwards. Over to Asher. Into Cargie, travels. No need for a mistake like that at this point in the game. Beaverton has the chance to cut the game to 3.
I'm surprised Asher didn't take that last shot. He was wide open.
I agree, Ben. Imbig. Dribbles behind the back. Hasn't gotten it over there, he does. Springer. Springer being guarded by Edwards. Over to Imbig. Imbig back to Miller. Inside to Ruppel. Air ball. Asher comes down with the ball. Edwards. Behind the back. Oh! Almost a great pass.
That is... Rolfs must be furious. Edwards is totally out of control. That's not what they want at all.
That's not the kind of play Rolfs wants. Wide open shot. Oh, doesn't take it. Marsh inside the Imbig. Play-in. Travel.
Travel. Good call by the official.
Still 47-42, minute 29 remain in third quarter. Hauser brings the ball up court. Hillsboro needs a basket. They haven't scored for about 2 minutes. Oh, intercepted by Springer. Springer up to Imbig. Edwards, Springer. Oh, they called a foul on Edwards. Second personal on Edwards. Third team foul. Looked like a good defensive play to me, Ben.
Well, the Beaverton Beavers could have avoided that situation by limiting one more pass on that fast break, but I feel it was definitely a foul. Good call by the official. Alley-oop.
Oh, stolen by Hauser. Oh, bad pass. We got missed. Oh, block shot, but they call a foul. Foul on Eric Fowler. Fowler's second foul, 14 foul.
Barton still out of control.
Going to the line will be the 6'3" senior Jim Marsh. Both teams doing very little substituting so far this half. Ball for him, coming into the game. Brian Yates for Paul Asher. Marsh setting up for his second shot. Off the front of the rim, rebound hard. Up ahead to Asher. Asher to Hauser. Play-in, easy two for Donovan Hauser. 15 points for Donovan Hauser tonight. 45 seconds left. Larson
Beaverton doesn't look like they're going to pull it out.
Springer over to Westmiller. Inside to Embick. They call a foul. Basket will count. And the foul will be on number 30, Eric Fowler.
The past 3 minutes, the Beaverton Beavers have started doing what I thought they should be doing all along, and that's working the ball inside.
That foul will put Beaverton into the bonus.
They are a lot taller than the Hillsboro High School players, and they're starting to flex some of that muscle.
And that's also a critical foul for Hillsboro because that's Fowler's third. He can't this. It's a three-point game with 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Hillsboro playing for one last shot. Hauser, Edwards. Edwards drives back to Hauser. 12 seconds remaining. Yates, Edwards. Edwards dribbles, 7 seconds. Hauser in the corner, pump fake. Foul!
He drew the foul.
Foul will be on number 33, Chris Ruppel. Number 3 for Ruppel.
Excellent pump fake by Hauser. He could sense that the Beaverton players were too aggressive.
Crumlin coming into the game for Hillsboro, replacing Fowler. 4 seconds remaining. Hauser to inbound. Out to Edwards. They call it out on Edwards. An unpopular call here in Hillsboro.
Crowd doesn't like that at all.
3 seconds remaining. Inbound. Springer. Over the top of the glass, and that ends the third quarter with the score. Hillsboro 49, Beaverton 46.
Well, this game is turning into everything we thought it would be. An excellent playoff indication of what things may come in the next few weeks. This is a showcase of the Metro League, of two of the Metro League's finest teams. And KSBR, what do you think the Beaverton Beavers attack is going to include in the fourth quarter?
Well, it looks to me as like Beaverton's got themselves back in this ball game. All they need to do now is just keep it down low to Embick and see if Embick can get us more points up on the board. If they can keep Embick out of foul trouble, they'll be in good shape. But as Coach Ross said, they're not keying on Embick. They can't just go against one player, and that's what they've done. The other player that Spartans have to look out for is Rick Wisnell, who's really burned the Spartans from outside tonight.
The Hillsboro Spartans, they keep on doing the same thing. They've got a three-point lead. They've been executing well most of the night.
The leading scorers after 3 quarters of play for the Beaverton Beavers, Rick Wismiller, who I mentioned earlier, has really burned the Spartans from outside, has 14, and Donovan Hauser, the senior for Hillsboro, has 15 points.
All right. Hillsboro will inbound to begin the final quarter of the Metro League's regular season here at Charles A. Campbell Memorial Gymnasium. Hauser, Edwards, Fowler, Carg, and Yates for Hill High.
Foul on Springer.
Holding foul on Springer.
Second foul for Henry Springer.
Beaverton lineup is
4th team foul for the Beaverton Beavers.
Beaverton lineup: Springer, Wismiller, Ruppel, McCormick, and Dan Embick. Edwards will inbound.
32, Dan Embick gets his 4th foul of the game, trying to steal the pass from Jeff Carr. Now the question is, will Nick Robertson leave Embick in for the remainder of the game, or sit him down and bring someone else in?
Darren, that's just the type of player Dan Embick is. He goes all out every night. The 5th team foul on the Beavers, so they're in a 1-on-1 situation. Looks like Robertson is going to leave Embick in there. They can't afford to do without his leadership. He's a smart player. I think he'll try and stay out of foul trouble for the rest of the way.
Jeff Carr goes to the line. First one's up and in.
Score is 50-46. Jeff Karg on the year, a 67% free throw shooter. It's up. It's good. Henry Springer, Beaverton's floor general, throws it up to Dan Embick. Back out to Springer to start the offense. 51-46. Appel into McCormick. Good. Nice execution by the Beavers. 7 points for McCormick.
Beavers go into a two-man pressure defense there for a few minutes, but they break back into their 2-3.
Looks like they might be in a 1-3-1 now.
Lob to Carr just missed, and Chris Ruppel comes down to steal. Beaverton with the chance to close the gap to 1. This could be the closest they've been in a long time.
Wismiller in his familiar corner position. No. Yates controls out to Fowler. Fowler loses it off his foot. Frustration is written all over his face.
The tempo of this game has not slowed down the least bit. The fans from Hillsboro continue to stay loud, and they need to get loud to pump this Spartan team up here late in the game.
Beaverton breaking the Hill high press. McCormick, his 9 points, excellent assist by Henry Springer. Greg Edwards, I don't know what he's doing.
Nick Robertson motioning to his team to slow it down.
51-50, Embick outside. It's good. Nothing but that. Rolfs wants the timeout. Embick has 10.
Dan Embick, who started slow and was in early foul
Coach
trouble.
Rolfs is furious.
Embick has come on strong.
They led all the way. 6:03 led. The crowd is roaring.
The Beaverton fans try to get back into this ball game and get their team going.
Rolfs just telling his team to settle down.
Both teams with playoffs are coming up. And this game really means a lot to both of them. We'll see how they react under playoff pressure right now.
On Beaverton's side, 6'5" junior Corey McCormick catching fire in the second half. Rick Wismiller cooled off since the opening, but he has 14 points to lead the Beaverton Beavers. Edwards and Card for Hill High each have 10, Hauser with 15. Jeff Carr getting ready to inbound. Beaverton applying pressure. Edwards bringing the ball up the court, being hounded by Springer.
Just over 5 minutes to go in this ball game.
Carr inside, posting up on the Beaverton men like they've been doing to him all night long. McCormick breaks the press effectively.
The Spartan defense is really tenacious right now, and that's what they need.
We've got a good battle on our hands between the 2 point guards.
Almost a traveling call, but no call.
McCormick in the corner. Edwards. Oh. Henry Springer. Beaverton maintains 54-53 lead. 5 minutes left in the half. This is the battle for second place in the Metro League.
Both teams with 5 team fouls, so any foul from here on out goes to the line.
Edwards checking the instructions to Rolf. Hauser in the paint. Tip. No. Hauser the rebound. Oh, he's fouled. No basket. no basket after the whistle. Chris Ruppel, another foul. That's 4 on Ruppel. Imbick and Ruppel, they're two big men, each with 4 personal fouls. Donovan Hauser on the line. Hauser, an excellent free throw shooter, 81% for the year.
He's already hit 3 free throws tonight.
Hauser steps up to the line, cool and calm. It's no problem for this senior forward.
Spartans go back up 1, and that's the 3rd lead change we've had in this 4th quarter.
Imbick bringing the ball up the court.
He dribbles it off his foot, a scramble for it. Fowler and Imbick going after it. No foul
the
call.
madhouse.
The fans are going wild.
10-second violation.
Oh, yes.
The refs just let him play. No fouls called. It was madhouse, and Hillsboro regains possession. They have a 55-54 lead. 4:25 remains in the game.
Spartans has really been taking off now. These fans are going wild.
Spartans see if they can change it, get some momentum going. Hauser down low. Yes!
2 more for Hauser. Hillsboro's leading scorer has 2 more.
Number 22, Donovan Hauser.
A turnover.
Foul. Foul on number 10, Greg Edwards. Henry Springer, Beaverton's flashy 5'7" junior point guard, is going to step the line for a 1-and-1.
This game is all that we could ask for. We couldn't ask for anything more from these 2 ball clubs. Both teams trying to assure themselves of a home game next Thursday night in the sub-tournament of the state playoff.
Springer, just as calm as Hauser, in a capacity-filled, noisy Hill High gym. This is the loudest I've heard this crowd this year.
Yes, Ben, this is a very boisterous crowd this evening. Into the game for the Beaverton Beavers, number 12, Tim Dick.
(57-56). Henry Springer now with 10 points.
And he picks up another foul.
Edwards and Springer are going at it.
Springer picks up his 4th foul, and now 3 of the Beaverton Beavers starting players have 4 fouls, and they could be in foul trouble. 1 second, 4 minutes, and 1 second to go in that game.
Greg Edwards at the line for 1-1. 75% shooter for the year. No good. Controlled by Corey McCormick.
This could be a crucial point.
Springer brings it up, out to Dick. Dick holds up. Had an opening, but holds up wisely. Oh, nice pass. Chris Ruppel, excellent assist, and a Corey McCormick.
Spartans go down low to Fowler. Fowler's 10th point of the ball game. Pressure defense by the Spartans.
Springer bringing it up.
Once again, we have a lead change. The Spartans back on top by 1.
Tim Dick, free throw line extended. Ruppel on the center free throw line, no good. Edwards with the rebound.
The smallest guy on the court comes down with the rebound.
Foul, Tim Dick. That's the 3rd foul on Tim Dick.
Brian Yates
Number-
goes to the free throw line.
No, number 50, Jeff Karg, the 6'4" junior for the Spartans, at the line. Karg on the year, a 67% shooter. He hits it. Karg has 13 on the night, way above his season average. 60-58 is our score. 2 minutes, 57 seconds remain. It's up. It's good. Jim Marsh inbounding. Repel. Pressure by the Spartans. Back to Jim Marsh. They break the press.
Beaverton attempts to slow it down a bit.
Henry Springer. Into Embick. Back out to Dick. Repel. Down low. Embick. 2.
Embick not being shy. He goes straight to the hoop even though he has 4 fouls.
1-point ball game again.
The Metro League leading scorer, Dan Embick, has 12 points tonight.
Hauser. These cards. Oh! Embick a steal. Springer on the fast break. Pulls up. Beaverton slows it down. 2 minutes left. Every basket crucial. Jim Marsh, the senior. Marsh the shot. No. Hauser rebound. Phil High looking to control, being pressured by Springer and Dick.
Timeout, Hillsboro. 1:46 to go in this final Metro League ball game. 61-60 lead by the Hillsboro Spartans.
Nick Robertson in the Beaverton huddle, giving his team instructions for one of the last times this season. Let's give you some playoff possibilities here. If Hillsboro does win and Glencoe beats Jesuit, then Hill High gets second place, Glencoe third, and Beaverton fourth. This means that Hill High would play at home next Thursday against Mountain View, most likely. If Hill High wins and Glencoe loses, Beaverton would get second by virtue of a better record against Sunset. This means that Hill High would be third, and Hill High would travel to Lebanon next Thursday. Coach Tom Rawl setting up for the final 146. His team is in control of the ball. Will they try and stall, or are they going to run a play, Darren?
I don't think there'll be any stalling. Both these teams have gone full board all this game. I don't think the tempo is going to slow down the least bit in this final 146 of the ball game, Ben.
Jeff Karg has been playing an excellent game for the Spartans. He's got a hurt ankle right now.
Karg came really on strong in the fourth quarter here. He's got 14 points. Hauser leading Hillsboro with 19. And Greg Edwards, point guard, leading with 10.
Donovan Hauser will inbound. Beaverton in a man-to-man defense.
This is a very crucial point of the ball game. Spartans need
Karg the ball. He drives. Yes. Good. 3-point lead by the Spartans. They cleared it out to Karg. He's been their main man tonight. Robertson wants a timeout. He's got it.
Oh,
how about that?
3-point Spartan lead. They did just what we said. Jeff Karg went straight to the hoop, and now they've got a 3-point lead.
Jeff Karg, 16 points tonight. This game is very reminiscent of the first meeting between these two teams this year, which Beaverton won at Beaverton 48-46. That was the game where Hillsboro held Dan Embick to just 9 points. Karg, by the way, in that last game had just 2 points. He's got 16 tonight.
Yes, Hillsboro has been good going down inside to the big men tonight. Really helped them out a lot.
Well, as they say, this is the big money crucial time. Each team with 1 timeout remaining. Both teams' best players are going to be on the floor. This is when the game is won and lost, right here in the final 1:30.
The key factor factor for the Spartans. If they can continue to go down low to Targ and Fowler, they might possibly be able to get the 5th foul on either Imbick or Rupel, and then that would open up more inside play for the Spartans.
That's right.
Just an excellent played ball game by both these teams. You can tell that the playoffs are high in their minds as they're searching for a home court advantage next Thursday night.
Beaverton has the ball. They will be inbounding. Exactly 1 minute 30 remains. Jim Marsh, number 21, a 6'3" senior. Inbounding. Hill High also in a man-to-man. We're underway. Tim Dick, they need a shot under Imbick. That's their man.
Minute 20 to go in the ball game.
They swing out to Imbick.
Beaverton.
Dick wants Imbick in the middle. They post Imbick.
They're trying to set
Repel.
up.
Imbick posting. Springer head. Henry Springer, a jumper from 18. The Beaverton pressure's on. Under 1 minute left. 63-62
The
Spartans.
Spartans are going to pull it out. So it looks like they're just going to hold the ball and make Beaverton come out and foul. Get the ball in the hands of a good free throw shooter. 44 seconds to go in the ball game.
Hauser with the ball. Beaverton needs the pressure. They want to foul Karg. Karg is the worst free throw shooter out there. Almost thrown away.
30 seconds to go in the ball game.
Pressure on Yates.
Foul! Henry Springer picks up his 5th foul of the ball game, and he will be gone. That's all for Springer. That's his 5th foul.
Only 4. He only has 4.
Well, he only has 4. He will remain in the ball game. Now the crucial point. Brian Yates will head to the free throw line.
Brian Yates on the line. He has 12 points tonight. Yates on the year is 20 games, shooting an outstanding 86%. No good. Beaverton rebounds. Springer breaks the ball at court. Timeout. Oh, this is incredible. The Hillsboro Spartans, 63-62. Beaverton with the ball, 21 seconds remain. It's just an incredible way to close down the Metro League season. We couldn't ask for anything more. This is almost reminiscent of the first game, just a higher scoring ball game. Beaverton came down and shot it, 2-point lead at the last few seconds, but Hillsboro went back, tried for the final shot, but didn't get one up. Nick Robinson, one of the premier coaches in the state, won titles at McMinnville, now he's instructing his Beaverton Beavers. Hillsboro has got to be expecting Imbick to get involved, so I wouldn't be surprised if they went to either Henry Springer or Jim Marsh. What do you say, Chad? Litzmiller is also in the ball game, so they might look for him to take an outside jumper, but I think they'll look inside to either Imbick or Marsh, probably. Spartans, it looks like they're going to have their pressure defense. They can't foul. I don't think they want to foul. I think they're just going to let them go for the shot and hope for the best. They do not want to foul at all. Beaverton, by the way, is a very strong free throw shooting club.
The Spartans will send out Paul Asher, Greg Edwards, Jeff Karg, Eric Fowler, and Donovan Hauser.
Rick Litzmiller into the ball game. So this is it.
Spartans will look for the steal on the inbound pass.
Jim Marsh inbounding.
Good pressure D.
The final 15 seconds. Springer starting a play. Foul! Foul! Jim Marsh. Jim Marsh fouled.
This crowd is going crazy.
Edwards goes to the line for a one-and-one. 7 seconds remain. Edwards on the year. 7 free throw shooter. Steps off the free throw line. The crowd is going wild. There's 7 seconds left. Brian Yates checking back into the game. Paul Asher checks out. Jim Marsh over with Robertson to ask for some final details in case Edwards misses the shot. It's a 1-and-1.
No timeouts for Beaverton, so they have to bring the ball up the court quick if he misses.
Edwards at the line. 1-and-1. Shot's way, it's good. You can see the confidence all over Greg Edwards' face. A gutsy performance by the little 5'6" junior guard from Hill High. He's got 11 on the night. Second one, it's good. He hit them both. Knocked out of bounds by Jeff Carr. 6 seconds remain. 65-62. Hillsboro lead. Hillsboro does not want to foul. They're pulling away. Imbick the ball. He travels. He travels. No basket. No basket. 4 seconds left. Hill High apparently has won this game. Cargill inbound. Timeout. Excuse me, timeout. Greg Edwards.
An amazing performance by the little 5'6" junior guard. He canned 2 free throws with 7 seconds to go to up the Spartan lead to 3.
A tremendous amount of pressure on the junior guard. Goes up there very cocky. Hits it with no problem.
The Spartan coaches look like they're in jubilation right now. Nick Robertson in complete.
A score just came in. Blenko, 65, Jesuit, 45. With a victory, that means with the victory, Hillsboro will wrap up second place.
That's right, Ben. The Hillsboro Spartans will be second place in Metro League this year and will play at home next Thursday night against Mountain View here at Charles Campbell Memorial Coliseum.
Beaverton drops down to 4th place with the loss. Brian Yates will inbound.
I have got to say, this is the best game I have seen in a long time.
And remind you, this has been 4 long games since the Spartans have beaten this Beaver team.
What a game, what a performance by him tonight. It's in. And it's something. Sunset Apollo's captured first place. What an outstanding game.
The fans are swarming onto the court right now, nodding the Hillsboro Spartan players.
What an exciting pitch. Almost, these two teams just play close every time they meet. Hillsboro finally beating Beaverton for the first time in 5 games, reminiscent of that 48-46 Beaverton win earlier.
What a way to end the season.
You got to give a lot of credit though, to that Beaverton team. They did you can sense that things did not go the way they wanted tonight. Imbick had a tough night all night long. Some final stats for you. Greg Edwards for Hillsboro with 12 points. Donovan Hauser led the team with 19. Eric Fowler at 10, and Jeff Card pumped in 16 gutsy points with a hurt leg the rest of the second half. For Beaverton, Henry Springer on a fine performance had 12 points. Tim Dick with 2. Rick Wismiller opened quick, had 16 points to lead the Beavers. Dan Embick held to just 10 points, and Jim Marsh, who played an outstanding second half, probably the best for the Beavers, pumped in with 11 points. Darren?
Just a tremendous effort by the Hillsboro Spartans. Right now, they're just in jubilation as they come out with a 1-point victory and grab second place on that play. But one thing you have to give credit, as Jim said, to the Beaverton squad. They can't be overlooked, and they'll be there in that playoff. And I wouldn't doubt it if they come through and win their sub-tournament and go straight on to state. And we might see them again in state.
May I add, Dan Embick had no involvement in this game whatsoever. Beaverton did not play the defensive game they're capable of, and the score ended up above 50 points.
Once again, the finale here, 65-64. We're going to try and get a post-game interview with some of the Hill High players and Coach Tom Rolfs.
We're here with assistant head coach John Vinneman of the Hillsboro Spartans. Congratulations, Coach, on a 65-64 win over the Beaverton Beavers.
Thank you. It's really nice, you know, after the first one and then last year, you know, what happened to us. We kind of embarrassed ourselves against the Loa last week, and I think we kind of wanted to come back and maybe show the fans that came out and supported us tonight that, you know, we can play basketball. I think we showed a lot of patience in the first half. We really worked on executing our plays. Second half, we kind of got a little careless, but it's a nice win. I understand Glencoe won too, so we got second place.
Yeah, Glencoe did defeat Jesuit tonight over at Glencoe, so second place to the Hillsboro Spartans. Congratulations, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Okay.